Good morning. Excited to be here with you this morning. And man, just got a quick tip today. As I said, and many of you may know Dave Ramsey, and I think that's where I heard this for the first time. But he said that if you don't tell your money where to go, it'll go somewhere. And what he meant by that is if you don't have a budget, if you don't take your money and tell it where to go every month, that at the end of the month, no matter how much you make, it's going to go somewhere. And most people find that to be true. And so they get on a budget. If you do his things, it's a cash-based system. For me, I like to track all my money in a software called mint.com, like where I can just categorize everything and see it. I use my card, so I'm a little against that. But I am a budget Nazi. I've already self-admitted that. So if you don't tell your money where to go, it's going to go somewhere. But there's something that I found in working with so many individuals that's more important to tell where to go than money. And I think it's more valuable than money. It has something to do with this. Well, not very many people use this anymore, but I had a mentor that helped me understand the value of my time. The value of my time is it's so important to understand. The most valuable asset you have is your time. So if you don't tell your time where to go, it'll go somewhere. So during the past few months of all the changes in the world, with the kids home and all that kind of, it's been amazing to see, like, man, I had more time at home than I've had in many years. And how productive was I with it, right? It just would end up going somewhere. And today, as my kids are starting school and over the past few days, I'm starting to realize, wow, that time that I'm getting back all of a sudden is like so valuable. So just a quick tip this morning to live a strong life and to be a more effective leader is to tell your time where to go. Be intentional with your time. It is the most valuable asset that you have. Now, there's a lot of things to make our time more valuable that we need to do, like prioritize, value, figure out our strengths. If you know your strengths, right? If you line that up, what's required of me, what gives me the greatest reward, and what gives me the greatest return, man, your time becomes more and more valuable. And what is that for you? The greatest return could be a devotional with your kids. It could be a date night with your wife or your spouse. It could be working with some of your team members, right? Some of your A players, your top 20%. It could be the most valuable time. Another little tip on this that I was working with a client a few weeks ago, and as I went through the coaching process, he came up with this, and it was a beautiful thing. Basically, I asked him, like, he was really good on scheduling his time, but he would let whatever he scheduled, if he didn't get finished he would schedule a project and not his time. So we came up with this will. It's like, hey, you've got 45 minutes to work on this, and at 45 minutes you stop. Because then we become more accountable for the time that we have on that project. And a lot of times we'll get distracted, and then we'll just let that bleed over. So I recommend trying that. And listen, one of my core values is flexibility. So I'm big on having white space. I'm big on having flexibility. But with your time, be intentional with it. Your time and your energy. When do you need to be at your best? So if you don't tell your time where to go, it'll go somewhere. You'll be at the end of the month and like, oh, we've been at the end of another 6 months. And like, hey, it just went. Be at the end of a year. It just went. Versus looking back over it and saying it went here, 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 and here because I was intentional with it. Just like you do with your money if you do a budget and follow some of the Dave Ramsey things or other financial advisors. Okay, so don't only tell your money where to go, but also tell your time where to go. Where do you want to spend it? Be intentional with it. Be disciplined with it. And it will help you lead a strong life, a brawny life. All right, remember to have an attitude of gratitude throughout the day. We'll talk to y'all next time.